The Power Hour, the Power Hour. We're live with the Power Hour. We're back for another week of the Power Hour live with me, Krust. Hey Deepak, what's going on? Hey Liz. What is going on, people? We're live. Charlie, how you doing? We are live in the place. We're coming live from Bristol Towers in the sunny hills of North Bristol. We got views all over the city from here. It's amazing. If you haven't been to Bristol, come and check out this amazing city. It's been voted best city in the world many, many times. Let me know how you're doing. It's a hot day and you're indoors. You're checking this Power Hour out, the Planet Reset. So thank you. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're from. We got an interesting show today. Lots of fun. We're gonna, yes, Adrian. I'm gonna let you know the winner of the 20 challenge competition. Very, very interesting. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how you guys are doing. We're gonna let it fill up a bit, and then we'll dive into today's show. And it's been amazing weather we've been having, right? It couldn't be better. What's going on? Where are you guys calling from? Where are you guys calling from? Where are you, man? Where are you guys calling from? What's going on? Yes, Marie, how you doing? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Leo, how you doing, brother? Building. We're building. We're just warming up. We're just getting going. We're just getting ready for today's Power Hour with me, Krust. I'm just waiting for a few more people to check in before we dive in to today's show. Danny, what's going on, my man? It's a big ask. It's a sunny day outside. K versus the sun. It's deep, I know. How you all doing? Ollie, how you doing? Let's let a few more people come in and then we'll dive into today's show. Where are you guys calling from? Where are you guys calling from? Let me know where you guys are calling from before we dive in. Let's see how far and wide this signal is reaching today. Okay. Let's go. So, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in again. It's been an interesting week. Especially the sun has been blazing. It's been hot. Everyone's checking this out for the next hour or two. So I appreciate your time and all your feedback and comments. Especially from last week, there's been a lot of comments about the show and the subject matter. This is the Power Hour. This is about a conversation for creatives around stuff we don't normally talk about. You know, I've been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years. I've seen a lot of things happen, a lot of interesting ideas come and go, a lot of different ways to think about what it is that you need to think about. I wanted to share that. I want to share everything that's involved in the creative industries, when things go right, when things go wrong, problems, mind states, you know, isn't working, you know, how to deal with your mindset. You know, one of the most powerful concepts, you know, that there is in any endeavor is not really talked about in our industry so much, you know. So I wanted to really focus this Power Hour on the mindset, on creativity, on the tools, on ways to get to that next level. yeah, a lot of people out there, they're DJing on these live streams. Yes, they're making beats on these live streams, but that's what those people are really good at. I'm not saying I'm not good at DJing or making beats, but I feel like I want to contribute in helping DJs, artists, producers, singer-songwriters in areas where they're not necessarily being supported. And that's where I chose to put my efforts. And so, what's happening, Nicola, Cora, Ross? I felt like I needed to really share some of my experiences and some of the coaching things that I've been able to, coaching skills that I've been able to develop over the last 20 years, and really figure out a way to share that and give back to the people that really needed it. So last week we went deep. We talked a lot about, being undistracted, deep mind, programming, a lot around a lot of difficult subjects, things that were quite difficult to discuss and to talk. But we went in deep, and we really unraveled a lot of ideas, and it was very thought-provoking. Some of the comments when I read back, really, really interesting. I think there's like a whole workshop's worth of information in there. I could really dig out there and really draw out there and figure out a way how to, just create a workshop around it, really. It was really, really interesting. So just again, thank you for all showing up this week. Thanks for all the feedback that we had as well. Just want to shout out a few people who have been helping spread the message of these shows. So for all of you who've been reposting, reblogging, thank you very much. This show's been reaching a lot more people because of your efforts, and I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for Ash from Resonate Radio as well for the interview that we did. Thank you to Bristol Radio as well for the interview we did last week. We're starting to get the message out about this free, power hour and how it's helping people. And like I said, for everybody that has been supporting and spreading the message. And we have a winner. Let you know who that is very, very shortly. We're going to let a few more people fill up before we get to that. But we do have a winner for the 20 challenge. And I'm really excited to tell you who that is and share some of their stuff as well. It's really, really great. Instrument and a remix from remixing one of my tracks. Jump on that. You can jump on. The prizes are amazing. So if you just go to Native Instruments Meta Pop competition, look for me, DJ Krust there, and you can enter with a chance to win really amazing prizes from Native Instruments. So go and check that out. Really, really amazing. Thanks, guys, for that hook up there. It's amazing. And I'm going to be there's another blog coming out with Native Instruments later on in the week or next week. As soon as I get that, I'll post you. Remember, if you want to join the mailing list, it's disruptivek@gmail.com. If you want to know how to get the PDF, the new rules of creative engagement, and that is a powerful PDF which gives some really interesting ways and tips and tools for creative thinking. So if you want to jump on that PDF, that is disruptivek@gmail.com, and I'll send that straight out to you. What else we got? Wednesday's workout. Thank you for everybody who's been inquiring about Wednesday's workout. Next week, you will have an opportunity to join Wednesday's workout for free when we do our new competition. We've just finished the 20 challenge competition, and we'll get into that next week. So if you want to be part of the Wednesday's workout and be on the private members group, check out next week's show. We're going to have a competition, and you will have an opportunity to join that membership. Anybody else who wants to know more information, email me, and I'll gladly have a commitment that's going to be required from you. So, this week, I thought we'd carry on a little bit more from what we talked about last week, and then I thought towards the end of this show, we have questions from you guys, and let's see what's going on. answering some of your questions and see where we can take this. And where are we going? So, yeah. So, it's been almost 8 weeks in this lockdown, and how has it been for you guys? What have you been doing? And more to the point, what is next for you guys? What's going to be next? It's been a amazing time to regroup, to rethink, to re-strategize, to have a look at maybe our own lives and what was working, what wasn't working, and to reflect on how we come out of this. And it's like a fast, right? A detox fast. It's always about how you come out of it. What do you do next? What's the first thing you put into your body? So we're thinking about how difficult this has been over the last, 3 months almost, right? 12 weeks. What has been your challenges? What has been the most you've got from this? What's been the turning point that made you change your mind about something? What has been your eye opener? What has been the thing about you that's changed because you've had this time, because you've been forced to really look at the circumstances that you're in, and it's given you a chance and an opportunity to think differently, to see things differently, to take stock, as it were. For me, it's definitely been about patience. I've been able to really slow down and see a lot more of where I've been maybe in a hurry, where I've been, unfocused. And the challenge really is to slow down and to recognize how to slow down and to take my time and to be a bit more introspective and to think about what it is that I'm trying to achieve as an artist, as a coach, as a family man. How do I take those next steps? And so a lot of what we talked about last week was about, like why you need to do certain things, why you need to stand out as an artist, why you need to think differently, why you need to do things differently. And so having that time to really reflect and think about who you are as a creator and how you're going to contribute as an artist was really, really powerful. It's like, what are you going to do as a creator moving forward? What's your creativity going to be about? What are you going to reflect? What is your story going to be about now after this time, right? And think about that. Like, how are you sharing that? How are you consuming the information that you're consuming that's having an effect on you? What is the stories that's having an effect on you? This is going to be, we keep hearing this is unprecedented, this is like unique times, like we're having people refer to this like when it was the war or something and we're all in lockdown and stuff. Yeah, this is really a unique time, a really reflective time, really reflective moment in history. The whole planet is locked down. The whole planet has stopped. But it's not going to be forever, and we are going to come out of it. So what are the lessons and tips and tools that we're going to be taking forward from this? What are the actions that we're going to be learning from this? And so, what it takes to be a really creative artist, that next level type of artist, and the power in why came up a lot, right? It's like, why are we doing it? Why do you want to do it? Why are you going to change? I'm hearing a lot of people who are using this opportunity now to change their lives, literally changing careers. Some people don't want to go back to their jobs. Some people have finished, stopped working where they were, excuse me, and taking this as a way to start looking at their lives from a different lens. And I think that's really, really powerful. What is your why? What is the why that you are doing, why you are doing what you're doing? What's the why? What is the meaning behind what it is that you're doing? And so, excuse me guys, I'm just trying to find some of the notes that are... going on? What is going on? Okay, we're good, we're good. So what is your why? What is your why for doing what you're doing? What is your why for taking your business, your brand, your idea to that next level? If you're a creator, what is your why for doing what you're doing? So check in with yourself, check in with your why and what it is that you need to be doing to, you know, be clearer as an artist. Make sure that your message is resonating with your audience. What is your why? What is your, reason for doing what you're doing? What is the thing that's going to get you excited? What's going to get your audience excited? What's going to get, the people around you excited? What is your why? What's the why that's going to make the difference for you? Tuning into that helps you understand and gets clearer about what your message is. What is that message? One of the most important things in the creatives, as creators, is really focusing in on our message. And I hear it a lot with DJs and producers. They just want to bang out beats or just do a mix or just play a show. But I see the people who really focus on their message and how they weave that message, the minds of your audiences, the way that you connect with your audience from having this message is very, very powerful. And think about what we've just gone through. We're all going through this big awakening. We're all going through this big aha moment. We're all going through this big turning point in our lives. If you can communicate what your message is, then people are going to be responsive to that. And there's no better time to be able to tune into that and connect that with your why, connect that with your story, connect that with who you really are, to help you, amplify what that is. And it doesn't matter what you are doing. Hey, Heather, what's happening? It doesn't matter what you're doing. As if you're connecting with people out there, you need to figure out what that message is. You need to figure out what your story is. You need to figure out how you're, reaching, people. Because another reason why it's really important is because everybody's doing it. Right? Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing live streams right now. Everybody's online. Everybody's trying to move their business online now, right? And this is very, very, important and vital because, those people that can make that transition really quick are the ones that succeed. And when you think about where creators are and why they get stuck in certain places, because they're not able to jump on to the future, right? That's what a lot of our fears are. Two fears. One is a fear of the future. The other fear is being left behind. Why are people being left behind? Because they're not understanding the opportunities. They're not understanding what to do next. They're not understanding how to think and create and to adapt to the changing circumstances. So think about what's just happened. How are you adapting? Have you got your why? Have you got your message? Do you know what your audience is requiring and how you fit to help, make their lives better, right? Right now, this is a value exchange. We're in a place where we just need to be giving value. We need to be helping. We need to be sharing. And this isn't about people trying to hide what's actually going on. This is a time when we all need to know, how each person's getting through this. What's the best way to get through this? What's the best way to take my business offline to online? What's the best way for me as a DJ, as a producer, someone in the entertainment industry to make a living? The whole industry shut down. For that, what's the next level for that? Where are we going with that? Where are creators making a living? It's really challenging times, right? The key is, where are we pivoting? Where are we being resilient? Where are we being resourceful? Where are we figuring out how to use our creative tools to get to that next stage? Where are we thinking, I would say, where are we living outside the box? This isn't about thinking outside the box anymore. This is about execution outside the box. This is about being able to take our ideas and flip and bounce them and create something new, something creative, something where, we potentially weren't looking. And this is about what's the opportunities that's out there, right? And so, what are you doing? What questions are you asking, right? And who are you asking those questions to? Very, very powerful. What questions are you asking and who are you asking those questions to? What is it that you're trying to, free your mind up to allow new ideas to come in, right? Because the more you go around and around and around in problem state, the less you're actually being creative and resourceful and resilient, right? Because you're just going around and around asking the same problem state questions, right? You want solution state questions. Solution state questions get you to ask ways of thinking, new thoughts, okay? And so that's where that's kind of the bigger picture all the time. And I'm sharing them with you guys, like, what's going on for you guys? Where are you going next? What are you thinking about next? You know, is there something, you know, I can help you with? Is there a way for me to, you know, help you challenge yourself to get to wherever it is that you need to get to? You know, I'm just sharing my knowledge. I'm just sharing things that I've learned. I'm sharing stuff on this call, which I'm having with my other coaching calls as well, because it's about, you know, getting all of us back moving forward again as creators and artists, you know. And I think that, you know, once the entertainment industry kicks back in, almost feels like, you know, there's that sort of place for everybody to sort of let off steam again, because that, you know, without that, you know, yeah, we're going to the parks, we're spending more time in nature, more with families, but there's a certain element that that music plays in our lives, and, you know, it's being missed as well. But it's also being shifted because of the way that we're now having to, you know, do different things and be really creative and be really, you know, intuitive with whatever it is that we're choosing to do with our time. So let me check out what the feedback is. Let me know what's going on, guys. I'm not seeing any questions at the moment, people. So let me know what's happening. If there's any questions out there and anything that you want me to get deeper into, let me know. And let me know how I can be of more assistance to you guys, because I'm not seeing any questions. I wonder what's going on. I wonder. Okay, well, I'll keep going. So, you know, what are you doing? What is the fundamental thing that you are doing to understand the opportunities of the future? Remember, where two fears: fear of the future, fear of being left behind. So what is it that is in the middle for you that's helping you, you know, pivot to change and really understand how your skill set is going to take you to that next level? And if it's not, what skills do you need to learn so you can get to that next level? What things need to be in place so that you can, because there are certain tools, certain ways of thinking that you can have in place that shows you what the opportunity is, how to think differently, how to step into that next opportunity. And it isn't what you're doing now, because you would be doing it now, right? So it's about stepping back, asking yourself some really different questions. You know, what is your why? What is your meaning? Why are we asking these questions? Because nobody else is in our industry, right? Lots of people are just doing what everyone else is doing. What happens when you do what happens when you do what everyone else does? You get what everybody else gets. How do you break through the noise? You have to do something different. Why don't most people do something different? Because there's a fear of the unknown, fear of the future. It's unquantifiable. It's not certain what's going to happen. So you won't take the steps to move forward into uncertainty, because why? Human beings love certainty. We love to know what's going to happen. But what does certainty breed? Certainty breeds boredom. Certainty breeds, what's the word? When if you're certain about something, it's too predictable, right? And if it's too predictable, everybody knows it's too predictable, and it's not exciting. When it's not exciting, there's no risk involved. When there's no risk involved, there's no heightened emotional state. When there's no heightened emotional state, people do not connect, right? Imagine going to a movie, watching a film, and it's just monotone all the way through. You need ups and downs, you need excitement, you need to go on a journey, right? You need to explore different things, right? And remember, on one of our other calls, we talked about the hero's journey, and I won't go into it, but the hero's journey is about going through your cycle, going through your experience, right? So when you think about, if you're stuck as a creator and you're saying to yourself, you know, I don't know what's next, you probably do know what's next. You don't know, you just don't want to do what's next. And this is about rising to that challenge. And this is what this opportunity gives us right now. Didn't want to do these live streams. You know, I was thinking about a way to contribute. I was thinking about a way to put some information out there, and I was going to do a podcast, or I was going to do a blog. And I thought, you know what? let me just do this, right? And I just, like I said before, I just put it together, and I just put it together, and I just started to speak. And I did it 1 week, and then another week, and another week, and now what I can do, what I can offer, and how I can take this to that next level. And for me, it's about growing this thing and putting myself in an uncomfortable position, you know, just speaking to, you know, this my iPhone, right? and seeing where it goes, seeing where it can go. And from this, so many amazing things have happened in just the last 6 weeks. That's made me have to step up and have to really think about where this is going, and how it, you know, who it's serving, and how it's taking, how it's taking its own direction and where it's going. And that's really, really powerful, because, you know, if I tried to think about how to do this, it would have never have turned out the way it did. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my career, and I see a lot of creatives learn, is just do it, right? Just do it and see where it goes. Because in motion is about just taking action and then seeing where those actions take you. Nobody knows what the right thing to do is before you actually do it, and how it's going to work out. So everyone says, oh, is this the right way to do it? It's the wrong way to do it. Well, I don't actually know. It's like when if you're a DJ or producer and you're in a studio, and or any type of creator, and you're in that creative moment, and you're thinking a decision how to do what you're going to do next. Should I paint this way? Should I use this dance move? Should I use this lyric? Who knows, right? Who knows? You just got to try it. You just got to do it. And it's a trial and error thing. And that's what this whole Power Hour Planet Reset is. It's a trial and error every week about ways to communicate, reading through notes. And now, for me, what's happening now, there's a much bigger show coming because of what the vibe that I'm getting from these power hours. It's been an experiment for me. It's been an experiment for me to test these ideas, to meet people, to get the feedback, to speaking to people, to go deeper into where this is going. And it's been amazing. And so if I had sat down and got my pad and paper out and my mind maps and started trying to plan all this, yeah, sure, I could have got something. But actually diving in and doing it on a, you know, and seeing where it goes, it produces a whole another level of results. But also as well, as I'm doing this, I'm growing, so I'm learning a lot about how to do these live streams, how to perfect the show, how to format it. But also as well, people are seeing, people are reaching out, because one of the things that I'm hearing a lot about what this power hour is doing is actually answering a lot of your questions when you need it, and that's very, very powerful. So why is that connecting? Because I'm listening to what you guys are saying. I'm reading your notes, I'm reading your comments, I'm really tuning in to trying to understand, you know, what are we as creators going through, what are we as artists going through, what are we as people going through, and I'm trying to share that, I'm trying to voice that. And one of the powerful things for me is to understand, you know, that as a DJ and a producer, you know, I felt like I was in a position, you know, to share what I was learning. And I got this a lot from, you know, seeing bands like The Clash or The Specials talking about interesting the people that they were growing with or around, but also grow or learn as much as they did. So they, hello, how are you? Good. Yeah. Are you on my thingy? No, we've just started. Are you on my thingy? No, not yet. We've just started. Are you on my thingy? No. Mwah. Come on then. Let's go and see Mama. Mama is dead. Mama is inside. Where's Mama? Mama is outside. Hey. Thanks. Yes. Where do we get to? Where do we get to? Where do we get to? So, just dive in. Me growing as a creator, and that's kind of what this is really about, helping people grow as creators. And as I said at the top of the show, was really about how, you know, as creators, we are spreading this message. How are we spreading this message? How are we taking it to that next level? And so out of breath, I just ran up and downstairs. And so, you know, and last week, that's why we talked about, you know, being a creator and touching people, you know, and doing that deep work, because deep work, the time that we're doing that as well, helps us tune in, helps us fine tune our message, helps us be resilient. So yeah, we're talking a lot about what what we're talking about, the why we were standing out, the mission why we were doing it, you know, and the fears, and the fears of the future, and the fears of the being left behind. And it's very powerful how we as creators, you know, are tuning into that, and are being either propelled towards doing something that helps yourself or helps your community, or, you know, freezes you as an artist. And if you're being frozen, that's where you're keeping stagnant. That's where you're just doing the same thing. That's why you're, you know, not learning anything new. That's why you feel held back. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel maybe like, you know, it's not your fault, and you feel like it's somebody else's fault. So yeah, what's happening with you guys out there? Let me check and get some feedback. We got a lot of vibes going on, and still not seeing any of you guys' questions for some reason. Really interesting. Cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep building. If anybody can tell me why I am not seeing any questions on my feed, I would be really appreciative. That would be cool. So, like I said, I was going to wait for a few more people to come in before I announce the winner of the 20 challenge. And we have our winner for the 20 challenge is Ruth Sharple. And she created something called the cloaking device. And I'm going to post that up on my Krust page and on my disruptive patterns page later today, so you guys can see some of those cloaking devices. And they are a mask, but they are amazing, really, really amazing. So thank you, Ruth, for those. We're gonna put a picture up on, like I said, on my Facebook page and on the disruptive Facebook page later on today. So congratulations, Ruth, you're the winner of the 20 challenge, and I'll get in contact with you, and we're going to figure out. And so the prize is, we're going to do a collaboration. That's what the prize is. So I've been speaking to a few people about how to take it to the next level. And so I'm going to email you later on today, so me and you can sit down and talk about how we're going to make this project and take it to the next level, because I'm really excited about it. So congratulations, Ruth, and everybody. You can see her winning entry later on today and tomorrow. So why did I do the competition? To keep us stimulated, to keep creativity going, to keep the mindset growing, to keep energy going. One of the most powerful things that we can have in this time is a challenge, right? To keep our energies moving forward, to keep thinking creatively, to keep on, you know, moving towards something, right? Because it's been a crazy 12 weeks of doing a lot of, you know, what's been going on. I wish I could see your questions, people, so I could tune in a bit more to what you guys have been doing. I haven't been able to see anything. So I'm not sure why this is. I can't answer any questions. I can't see any. Jeezy. What's going on? What's going on? Is anyone sending me any emails? Let me put my disruptive. I wonder if you could see this. Disruptive K at gmail.com. Okay. I wonder what's going on then, guys. Might have just to swipe. Okay, I can see your. I've swiped right. How come your message came up? That was interesting. I saw your message, whoever that was. Thank you. Okay, we'll keep moving forward. All right, it's got me this time. Maybe you guys can send me an email at DisruptiveK and I can check that to see if there's any questions. All right. So, like I said, next week we're going to have another competition where you guys can join in on the Wednesday workouts group. That is a private members group where we dive deep. Every Wednesday we do a really deep dive into different subjects around the creative process. We're working for a group of creatives. If you want to join in on that and you want to know more about how to be involved in Wednesday's workout, you can drop me an email. The email's on there, and I can tell you a lot more about how to get involved. If you want to know more about the mailing list or any of the other things that I'll be doing over the next coming weeks, email me. I can give you all of the details, and keep checking out keep checking out the feeds as well. DJ Krust, Facebook and Instagram, and there's lots of new stuff coming out. So thanks to Brian G as well. We've got a new track out called Pentacle. A lot of you have heard of it. So thanks for your comments and feedback for that track as well. It's been really appreciative of that. And we've got a lot more coming out. There's still people been asking me about the album and when's it coming out. It will be out in a few months. We've had to jiggle a few things around. It's been a really interesting, obviously, couple of months, like we all know. So I've had to put back the albums until I can get a clear couple of months to do some interesting promo, and got some great ideas. We're working with some new people, so that's exciting. Few more things before we wrap up today's session. Yeah, so I wanted to know what was next for you guys. So I can't see your replies. So please put into the comments, let me know what's next. And let me know how I can get involved in helping you create whatever is next for you. that's one of my things that I really wanted to try and figure out how I can help a lot more people by doing these live streams and by going in and answering the notes and, you know, doing some more free talks. I'm going to be doing a podcast as well, separate from this one, so check that one out when that comes out. And also, I am wanting to figure out whatever your blueprint is, and so what's your blueprint? You know, what's your signature blueprint? I talk a lot about this in my private groups, and basically, your blueprint is your signature sound, your key thing that makes you unique, that helps you stand out. And why is that so powerful? Because that is the missing ingredient if you're not where you want to be as a creator and as an artist. You know, that is what makes you you. That is your DNA. That is the thing that is so unique about you that if someone puts on a record, the first couple of minutes, they know it's you. If you've done a painting, as soon as they see it, they know it's you. If you've made a film, as soon as they see the opening credits, they know it's you. You know, if you're a dancer, they know that you've got a signature style that they can easily identify as you. Excuse me. That is the most powerful thing I believe a creator can have in this day and age. And it's going to be more vital in the coming months and years as a creator to separate themselves from everybody else in the next 12 to 18 months will be to figure out what your signature blueprint is. And I'm here to help with my coaching, with these free calls, and you know, you can tune in to my to a lot of these talks that I've done over the last 6 weeks, where I talk a lot about that. And the majority of things that I'm really drilling into and really talking about is the blueprint and how you can create it as an artist, and what happens when you do it and what happens when you don't do it. So last week we talked a lot about that, you know, what your big why, you know, what's the difference, you know, and, you know, and how you need to think as a creator, because that's really the power that you have that's going to separate you from everybody else. And yeah, I talk about it a lot because that is the fundamentals of the psychology of success when you really break it down. Because when you don't do that and you copy everybody else and you be like everybody else, what happens? Yeah, you get everybody else, what everyone else gets. Like, you've heard me say that a million times. The beauty about it is when you figure out who you are and when you tune into that, it takes you to that complete next level. So next week, I'm going to talk about how you can be a part of Wednesday's workout and how you can really get an opportunity to drill down into your own signature sound and work with me, you know, in a small group and figure out how you can grow as a creator and take whatever it is to that next level for you and for your business and your brand. Because, you know, the chokehold, the place in the business where in a business where you're stuck, it's you, right? The business doesn't do anything by itself. A business isn't anything without, you know, someone operating it. And the operator in the business, if they don't have the vision, if they don't see what can be seen, then that's what the problem is. When someone says, oh, my business isn't working, what they really mean is that they're not thinking to their full capacity. They're not taking the full opportunities to go and grow and do whatever it is that they need to do next, to think differently, to market differently, to share their story differently, to promote themselves differently. And that's because there's a limitation in their own beliefs about what they're capable of, or about how uncomfortable they feel about standing out. So interesting comment I read from someone a few weeks ago. They said that one of their takeaways from one of these sessions was to get comfortable being uncomfortable, you know. And that is the story of artists, right? Is is to get used to, is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because to grow and stretch is to sit in that space where it's, you know, you're always, you know, unsure about what it is that you need to do as a creator and as an artist, because there's no guarantees of what you're going to do is going to work. So you're always experimenting, you're always testing, you're always on the edge, you're always looking for that new opportunity, that new way through, that new way of thinking, of doing, of sharing, that is going to potentially either skyrocket you or make you adjust and adjust and adjust. So again, there's no real failures. It's about adjusting and adjusting. It's about having that open mind to seeing what you could do. That didn't work? Adjust. That didn't work? Adjust. That didn't work? Adjust. 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 My questions, I can't see the questions. Adjust. Right? So it's constant. It's constantly moving forward. It's constantly evolving. Constantly keeping, you know, your ideas alive and figuring out how to challenge yourself to grow and go to the next level. So I was looking forward to diving into the questions today. And I guess you guys can put into the comments. I guess what's going to happen as soon as I finish this, I'll be able to go into the comments and read and feedback in there as well. And I'll take some of these ideas and bring them forward for next week as well. So the two main things I really wanted to dive into on this show really and to sort of get you guys to feedback on is, you know, what's next for you? So what's happening next? Like, where do you see your next moves? What is your plan for next? How are you going to get to that next place, you know? And, you know, and have you found your blueprint, right? So what is your signature blueprint? What is the thing that you are going to do that's going to separate you from everybody else as a creator and as an artist? And I know I keep banging on about this, but I think, like I keep saying, that it is really important. And I've identified that there is a key element as an artist, as a creator, that you will have to tune into eventually to figure out what you can offer, what is different, what is unique about you, and what you can offer. So feedback in the comments, and I'll dive into that, and I'll look forward to reading some of your comments and see where that goes. So email me, disruptivek@gmail.com, if you want the PDF, the new creative rules of engagement, which is a powerful PDF that outlines some really interesting ideas of how to get your mind stimulated and moving in a totally new direction. Email me if you want to know more about Wednesday's workout. Don't forget, next week we're going to give a competition so that you can dive in and be a part of the winner can dive in and be a part of the Wednesday's workout for the foreseeable future. The winner of the 20 challenge is Ruth Staples, if we get that right, with her cloaking device. And I will post up pictures so you guys can see. I really like this winner. It's amazing, great ideas. And I think she really embodied the spirit of the 20 challenge, and she really took it to, you know, that next level. So thanks, Ruth, for your cloaking devices, and I'm sure everybody will enjoy them as much as I enjoyed seeing them as well. And one other thing, email me if you want to get on the mailing list. So the mailing list where you can keep up to date and find out about all the other things that I'll be doing over the next coming months, and where you can find out how to jump on some of my other coaching projects, and how you can take whatever it is that you're doing to that next level. And so we're going to leave it there this week. A bit of a shorter one, just under an hour power. Sorry, guys, but next week we'll dive in deeper again, and we'll have some fun, and we'll figure out I'll dive into your questions and feedback as well. So thanks for joining me for this week's Power Hour, and I will see you next week. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.